basketball today, if there was one thing that you would change, what would it be around the game of college basketball?
Boy, that's not a mini question. M-I-N-I. Not a mini question. That is a gigantic question. George, I think that I know all of them fall into some category that I've come up with in my nasty look at the world, because I've been someone who found it almost impossible to bring about the kind of equality, the kind of thing that I think that comes out of the 13th Amendment. To find some justice and solace in what's happening in sports today. It's difficult to point out a few things. I see so many things that happen that tends to always find itself rooted in two things: the vision that everybody walks away with in sports, and the money that's involved in sports, which so much dictates success in every aspect, from politics all the way down. I think there's only been one poor president, or maybe two poor presidents. All the rest has been rich. You can't even become president of this country without money. You've got to have money. Buying the humanity of people, changing the minds of people. It's almost an unbelievable situation when you look at television, which influences so much, and the commentary is always steeped in the more successful, which has a basic underpinning of money and greed. Very difficult to measure the manner and mannerisms of sports without you finding that it's steeped in money and the vision is thrown out over television. That's what made our league, Atlantic 10, successful, as I can remember. Because I remember going into Temple, and I take everything I just said away from what happened when I first went into Temple. I said to Peter, the president, I want to play 50 of the toughest teams in this country, because it was just about the time the explosion of the Big East came in with Dave Gavitt, with the Big East, and it came about because of the television. Television exposure gives you the recruitment. Everything comes into place. Did you see me on television last night? Well, I'll see you in September. Well, many guys didn't even have to go out to recruit. They could call a guy, Dean Smith could call a guy on the telephone. Did you see us last night? Yeah, I'll see you in September. My point is that visibility. I wanted to play them. I played all these teams twice or 3 times, and they would only play me once. Carolina owes me a game even today. You see. And my point is they were supposed to come back to play us, but they never did. But we played them all. And we did that to get on television. Teams in my league at the time, there was no revenue sharing. We had to share the money that we were making, going out risking my life.
And reputation.
And reputation by losing games. And bring the money back and share it with the guys who never left their living room. The Big Five. When Villanova left the Big Five, they got pissed off at Villanova. So I said, I don't care if you get pissed off at me. I'm playing the big teams out there. I ain't going to stay here in this parochial setting and find myself, just playing each of you. because they used to play each other twice, remember?
Right.
Years ago. So we found ourselves being on television. People would call us and say, all right, John, we got a match with you with Memphis, or we got a match with you with Las Vegas. We played Las Vegas 4 times before I beat them 1 time. And each time they beat us by 1 point in the last second. You know, but here again, on the road. On the road. And the teams in our league say, wow, Calipari, he'll tell you today that he began to schedule like us, which happened. Then the league gained a television contract for our league. But the other schools began to play, St. Bonaventure, all those schools began to play outside of their community, all because of us. In the last few seconds of a game, if I'm leading you, I'm taking people off the foul line. I see teams doing that today. I was the first one to do it. Nobody did it. If you look back on your computer 15, 20, 25 years ago, nobody had in the statistic column turnovers. Nobody. Football, basketball, if you look in the papers now, that's a statistic where they say turnovers that you look at. Nobody had it on the sheet. You could go to the score table and get any old score sheet and you never saw it. Nobody wanted to print it. Boston Celtics say, we have so many possessions, it doesn't matter. But they had the talent to overcome anybody in most cases, you know. So, but those are some of the things I look at and recognize. I remember the reason why I did that is because we were playing in the Baker League one time. And you know, the Baker League was the first one to pick up the shot clock from the NBA, and they gave us basketballs and everything else until Nike became a part of my life, you know. So we would find that here you have basketballs and the clock. Now we're playing somebody, I'm leading, listen to this now. The reason why I took guys on, I'm leading by 1 point with 1 second on the clock. And we're shooting 2 foul shots. And I got guys on the line. What's the purpose? 1 second to go. I had a little I know you know Bird here in the city. Strong man. Rebounding. He's in there. Savage shoots a shot. Misses the first foul shot. Misses the second foul shot. We're leading by 1. Bird goes over the top of guy's back. So they walk from one end of the floor with no seconds on the clock. We leading by 1. Guy makes 2 foul shots, and they win. I says, I'll never put a guy on the foul line again. But here again, you learn from experience, but sometimes you should be able to learn from other methods, other ways, because, you know, if your mama told you, don't chase a ball between 2 parked cars, you just don't do it. But if you got to learn from experience by chasing that ball, you might end up
getting hit by the car.
Hitting by that car.